Hey guys, how's it going? I am Adam, and welcome to the Vintage Sanctuary. I really only have two goals on YouTube. Number one, connect with this wonderful community, and thanks to all of you, I'm making progress there. And number two, create videos that are less than or equal to mediocre. And I think I've nailed that one. So without further ado, today we are going to look at the bottom 5 vintage baseball cards to never buy. I will share what I paid for each stunning investment piece and also predict its future value with incredible accuracy. So stay tuned. Also, I will talk a bit about the player. However, if you are only here for the investment advice, you can always skip ahead to my free for a limited time future value predictions. So are you ready? All right, number 5. The 1955 Topps number 109 Eddie Lopat in an SGC 5.5 Excellent Plus. Lopat is a 5-time World Series champion, part of the Big Three Yankees pitchers of the 1949 to 1953 World Series championship dynasty. During that 5-year run, Lopat won 80 games, plus 4 more in 7 World Series starts. Not far behind the other members of the Big Three, Vic Raschi had 92 victories in that same time span, and Allie Reynolds had 83. I paid $19 for this card about a year ago. Now keep in mind that for maximum depreciation, you must buy this card in an SGC 5.5 EX Plus. Future value prediction. An SGC 5.5 of this stunning beauty will sell after some negotiation at a show in Albuquerque, New Mexico in November of 2026 for $12.50. Net loss, $6.50, or roughly 34%. Let's take a look at this stunning card. This is my only 1955 Topps, but that's not why I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it because for the Yankee contributors, I usually only keep one of their cards or maybe two, but I look at each Lopat and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting rid of this one. I mean, Pepino Man would say, look at it. Look at it. I mean, this card is just stunning. The back is really cool, too. An assortment of junk is what the ball players say about Ed's pitches, but they're as tough to hit as a blazing fastball. Just gorgeous. All right. Number 4, the 1954 Topps number 5 Eddie Lopat in a PSA 5 EX. For the 1951 World Series, Phil Rossetto won the Babe Ruth Award, which was a precursor to the World Series MVP award. While Rossetto had an excellent series, some would argue it should have been Lopat who won the Babe Ruth Award. During that series, the junk-balling lefty Lopat pitched 2 complete games. Game number 2, where he only allowed 5 hits and the Yankees won 3-1, and game number 5, where Lopat also only allowed 5 hits and the Yankees won 13-1. For Eddie's 18 innings pitched, he had a 0.5 ERA, allowing only 3 walks but tallying 4 strikeouts. He had a whip of .722, which I think means he whipped some serious butt. I paid $32 for this card about a year and a half ago. Future value prediction. A PSA 5 of this stunning beauty will sell via an eBay Buy It Now listing in March of 2023 for $20 plus a $6 eBay authenticity guarantee fee. Net loss, $6 or roughly 19%. As you probably know if you've watched any of my videos, I absolutely love 54 Topps. By the way, I used to have a PSA 6 of this card, but it wasn't near as nice as this 5, so I sold the 6 and upgraded to the 5. Look at that beauty. And as you probably know if you've seen my videos, I just absolutely love that. The colors on the back. This card is just gorgeous. Okay. Are you ready for number 3? Number 3. The 1953 Topps number 87 Eddie Lopat in an SGC 4EX. In 1951, there was a fan, a senior in high school, who was a pitcher who played sandlot baseball. He waited after a Yankees game for the players to come out of the players' entrance. There was a big crowd waiting, but when Lopat came out, he dared to ask him a question about pitching. Lopat took him away from the crowd and spent time essentially giving him a one-on-one pitching clinic impromptu. The young man, I'm not sure who he was, but if anyone knows, please let me know, said that Lopat could not have been more encouraging. Not only that, but about a year later, the young man was heading to take a seat for a game at Yankees Stadium when Lopat recognized him and called him over, asking him, "How's that slider coming along?" Quoting the young man, thus began a series of conversations about pitching over the next 3 years, interspersed with demonstrations of one thing and another, and I found that if I had a question or a pitching problem I could not handle, I could talk to him. He gave me a great deal of advice and assistance, and at one point when I needed it, he gave me a powerful psychological shot in the arm. I'll never forget one thing Lopat said to me one day when we were talking about pitching repertoire. The most important pitch you can have in your repertoire is the noodle. I knew immediately what he meant. He was the kind who would take the time to share his knowledge and expertise with anyone who was interested, who really wanted to know. End of quote. I paid $18.51 for this card at auction in March of this year. Future value prediction. An SGC4 of this stunning beauty will sell at a yard sale in southeast Nebraska for $12 in April of 2025. Net loss, $6.51, or roughly 35%. Wow. Wow. I mean, I probably say this about every card, but it's always true. I mean, look at how gorgeous. Wow. And here's the back. I just love that big baseball with the number on the back. I mean, this card is so sharp. The only thing keeping it from being a Gem Mint Plus 10.5 is it's a bit off center, but who cares? Wow. I mean, hey, for those of you who care about centering, that's cool, but, I don't care. I think this card is awesome. All right. Are you ready for number 2? Now, number 2 is actually number 2A and number 2B, so you're kind of getting a bonus here. Number 2A, the 1952 Topps. Number 57, Eddie Lopat, Redback, in a PSA VG Excellent 4. By the way, I'll go ahead and show you number 2B as well. Number 2B, the 1957 Topps. Eddie Lopat, Blackback, in a BVG 4.5 Very Good Excellent Plus. But let's go back to number 2A. And then let's say some more about Eddie Lopat, reading from the book Summer of 49 on page 76. Lopat was an even better pitcher in the major leagues than he had been in the minors. The more strengths the hitters had, the more he could use his intelligence and wide assortment of pitches against them. Ted Williams listed Lopat among the 5 toughest pitchers he had ever faced. Invariably, he referred to Lopat in conversation not as Lopat, but as that blanking Lopat. I PG'd that. Lopat was very proud of that. When he pitched against the massive Walt Drapeau. The confrontation took on a certain circus quality. Because Lopat looked so easy to hit, Drapeau was determined to crush his pitches. I'll get it right. Crush his pitches. So Lopat threw him even softer stuff, and Drapeau would be out seconds ahead of the pitcher. As, time and again, his at-bat was terminated by a weak grounder or strikeout, Drapeau would curse Lopat. This occurred so regularly that Bobby Brown, the Yankees' third baseman, could barely keep from breaking up with laughter every time Drapeau came up. I bought both of these cards last year in separate transactions for a combined total of $58. Future value prediction. A copy of the redback Lopat in a PSA 4 will next sell together with a copy of the blackback Lopat in a BVG 4.5 in August of 2055 for a total of $65, net gain $7 or roughly 12% over 34 years. I mean, who doesn't love 52 tops? This card is just absolutely wonderful. By the way, notice the background color. It's a little different. Not only do we have the red back on the back, and the other card I'm going to show is the same card in the black back version, but notice the background color here. It's a little different than the background color on the black back. So here's the black back as well. I actually negotiated. This was one of those buy it now or best offers. I almost felt guilty for doing this, but I negotiated with the seller and got this for $23. I mean, that is just Jordan-esque. I mean, look at how sharp this card is. Wow. All right. I mean, how am I going to get rid of those? 1952 tops. Like, there's no way I can get rid of any of these Lopats. Okay. Are you ready? Number one of the bottom 5 vintage baseball cards to never buy, the 1952 Bowman, number 17 Eddie Lopat in a PSA 5 EX. Also reading from the Summer of 49, page 76. Lopat took a special pride in his ability to pitch at a high level with none of the natural gifts of most frontline pitchers. From time to time, Joe Page would needle him about his lack of speed. Cuddy thumb, Page would call Lopat. The pejorative term for a slow-balled junk ball pitcher. But since Lopat was probably the foremost of the team's needlers, these were verbal battles that Page rarely won. You're right, Joe. I do throw junk, but hell, anyone can go out there on the mound with the stuff you've got and win. But Joe, if you can get him out with the stuff I've got. Here Lopat tapped his head. That takes brains, Joe, real brains. I'm sorry about it, Joe, I really am. So in deference to the sharpness of Lopat's tongue, Page stopped teasing him about his lack of power. I paid $25 for this card about a year and a half ago. Future value prediction. A PSA 5 of this stunning beauty will sell out of a box of $20 slabs at the National in Atlantic City 2 weeks from now. With any luck, I'll be the buyer. Net loss, $5 or 20%. This is absolutely gorgeous vintage art. Just that rich green in the back and the perspective on the stands and the different levels. I mean, wow. It's got nice registration, too, for this issue. And here is the back. Wow. Well, that about wraps up this week's edition of the bottom 5 vintage baseball cards to never buy. No doubt, some will ask me about my future Lopat losses, to which I simply respond, stay away from my Lopats, and nobody gets hurt. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you had a wonderful and peaceful time. in the Vintage Sanctuary.